Hey, this is Wayne Bridges. I am a Senior Solutions Engineer with VMware End User Computing. In this video, I'm going to walk through how to create a compliance policy that takes action based upon a Denylist application group. So in a previous video, we created the Denylist app group. And in this video, we're going to take that to the next level by creating a compliance policy that takes some action on the device when a denied application is found. So to do this, we're going to, within Workspace 1 UEM, we're going to go to the Devices menu, and we're going to go to Compliance Policies, List View. And I may have some previously created compliance policies here, but I'm going to add one in this case. And I'm going to specify the platform. In the previous video, you saw me creating an iOS application group for denying applications. So I'm going to create this compliance policy that works in conjunction with that specific deny list. So as the rules page on my compliance policy screen pops up, I'm going to specify application list here. And within application list, I have several options. I can say contains a specific app identifier, and that may be the case if you're focusing in on one application. But in this case, I'm going to say contains denied apps. So this will look at all of the apps in my deny list app group, and it will tell me if my device has any of those applications. And that's the only rule I'm really looking at is, does this contain denied apps? If I needed to add a rule, I could certainly do that here. Maybe I also have something along the lines of required apps, which we may cover in a future video, but I could enforce that here as well. In this case, all I'm looking at is denied applications. So I'm going to say next here, and this lets me create actions based upon the apps that are installed on the device, and specifically when Workspace 1 UEM finds a denied application. So as a start to my compliance actions, I'm going to notify the end user. So to do that, I'm going to leverage a push notification to the device. This leverages the Workspace 1 agent on the device and pushes a notification to that device. Pops up in the user's notifications. So I send this push notification. I can create a template that says you have denied applications on your device and you should take some action, like removing those applications. I can then take further action on the device if I choose to create an escalation here. So in this case, I'm going to say if after a certain number of hours, let's say 4 hours, a user has not removed that application, Workspace 1 scans the app list again and still finds that app, then we're going to take some further action. And in this case, I'm going to say notify again. Let's send the user an email. This is leveraging their attributes within the user account in Workspace 1 UEM. And I'm also going to copy security at my company. And this gives some oversight to that process. I could also copy the user's manager by looking up their manager attribute in Active Directory and including that here. Again, I can specify the template to be used. I'm using the default template in this case, but I may have some specific actions for the user to take and or for the CC'd people to take on this. Now, if this doesn't get the user's attention and it doesn't get the problem resolved, then I may want to take some further actions even on this device. So instead of notifying this time, we could go to the profile command, and I could block certain profiles. So let's say I want to block, for example, my VPN profile on the device. This prevents a compromised or a potentially compromised device from getting access to my internal network. So when that application is detected, then I could protect my network by blocking the VPN profile and preventing that user from getting internal access. Beyond that, I could take further actions. One of the additional profile actions is installing a compliance profile. So, if this device is compromised and I need the user's attention, I could single app mode the device into a specific application. And this compliance profile that I've pointed to here is actually one that puts it in single app mode in the Notes application. So certainly a way of getting the user's attention, getting them to bring the device to IT perhaps and say something's wrong with my device, at which point you can manually remove the offending applications if needed. We can also take action on applications, so we can block and remove certain managed apps. So this is an opportunity for me to, if I need to block a specific app, then one way to do that is to manage that application and then to remove the managed application. So I could specify the bundle ID for the application I want to remove here and have that app removed through the compliance profile. And finally, for those user-owned devices, one of the things I may want to do is use a command and remove that device from my organization. There are several options here that I could take, but enterprise wiping is certainly one option that's used pretty frequently for those devices that aren't necessarily owned by your organization and might be compromised. Finally, when I've specified all of the rules that I want within this compliance policy, then I can use the Next button here, and I can assign this to specific smart groups, and if I choose, I can exclude certain users or devices by using an excluded group here. I have a button that allows me to see the device assignment. I'm just going to say all devices here. This would show me all devices to which this compliance policy is assigned. Once I'm satisfied with that, I can say Next. And then this allows me to activate this specific compliance policy. Again, this was creating a compliance policy that leverages a Denylist application list in order to manage the applications that can be present and operational on your managed devices.